Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I will wait a few moments to see if anyone jumps on here. I am actually just coming on for a few moments to test Streamyard, and I haven't really been doing any live streams for about 3 years. Yesterday I came on and I did it directly through YouTube. And when you do it directly through YouTube, you can't bring anybody up as a guest. So one of my friends suggested I do the free version of StreamYard and see how that works because she uses the free version of StreamYard. And so that is what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and share this out, and I should be with you in just a moment. Um, let I haven't done this in a long time. It's so coming on here and going live. See, not on my channel yet. Okay, got it. So now I'm going to go into that and have to mute it. Okay, let's see. Got to mute it. And I also need a screen. I know that there was that. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to share this out. See if I can share it out. And I'm working off of a computer in my sunroom, which makes all that great in here. So it may take me just a little bit. Oh no, I don't want that. Gotta see if I can share it here. Okay, just call it Come Say Hello live stream. Okay, so now I just put that out, and now I'm going to try to figure out how to do the pop-up chat again. Let's see, pop-up chat. There we go. Okay, so let's see if I can move that over to StreamYard. Okay, so go back to StreamYard. Oops, now I lost myself. Okay, so where am I? Let's see. Okay, so here I am. So where is the studio? Okay, let's see. So see, maybe you're going to learn something right along with me, or maybe you can tell me how to do it. So it says that I'm live, and I'm over here. Go ahead. Okay. Let's see if I'm really live here. Okay, I am live. And, okay, how do I get the big screen up again? Oh, maybe that's it? Nope, I don't want that. Okay, don't want that. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Comments is here. And I shared it out. Let's see if it's actually doing anything. I'm going to go back over here. Close this one. See if this one. Okay. Okay. So far there's nobody here but me. And I'm wondering if I'm actually Hey, Edward. Hey, Ed Wizard, welcome. Please say no, I'm out there. Thank you, thank you. You know what? I'm here. So, welcome, welcome, Ed. Thank you so much for coming. So you can hear me? Okay, good, good, good. Because I'm using Streamyard, and it's the free version. And I used to pay for it, but I haven't been doing live streaming about for about 3 years. And I did one yesterday, but I did it directly through YouTube. And so I am not sure exactly what I am doing here on StreamYard again, because normally it lets me, okay, let's see if okay. So it is freezing. Okay. So it could be from the internet in here that I'm using, or, or it could be, yeah. So what, how do I mute this? Let's mute it. Okay. Okay, let me see. So now I cannot hear myself, but you can hear me. And it's freezing. And that's because I'm using the free version of StreamYard. So my friend Undale told me she uses the free version. And she said, go ahead and try the free version. And, and so streaming, but I think I am. And I'd like to come back after 3 years of not doing live streaming, and I'd like to do it again. So this is kind of my practice run. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate you. Thank you. And so what I'm trying to do is figure out how it works. If it's worth it to use the StreamYard or not, and the free version. So I just got in from a 5 mile run, and I just did my 5 miles. It's cold here. We're in the South, but it's cold. We're in the Carolinas. And so I went out today and I did my run. It was beautiful, but cold. And so I came back in and I thought, well, I was going to do a live stream on TikTok. And I've never done a live stream on TikTok before. So I thought, well, I have a nice size TikTok over there. And I thought, well, I'll go over there and do a TikTok. And it's under Ultimate Golden Girl over there. And so I went over there to try to do it. But for some reason, this is an older computer in here. My new computers are out in the kitchen and in the dining room and in the office. This is my sunroom. And so I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and work on this computer. This computer is probably 10 years old. So number one, it's slower. Number two, it's on Wi-Fi, which is on the other part of the house from where the Wi-Fi box is. So, there may be issues with coming on here through StreamYard. And I don't know yet. So we'll see. We'll kind of just give it a test run and see what happens. And uh, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't work, that's fine too. I can always go back to doing it on YouTube, and I can do just a regular YouTube, where it's just me. The issue with YouTube, if you go directly through YouTube, you can't bring anybody up. Whereas um, if you are on StreamYard, you can bring other people up. So yeah, so I'm trying the free version to see how I'm doing. Obviously, I'm not doing so good on it, but the other big issue for me has been that that over on here on YouTube, when I first started off doing my live streaming, this is 5 years ago, I had 400 to 500 people three, four, 500 people in any one of my live streams total, throughout the live stream. And it was amazing. But something happened about 3 years ago when I stopped doing it. My husband got cancer. That was the main reason. He's doing fine now. He's 100% cancer free. But at the time, we were going through all that. And all of a sudden, it was like I felt like YouTube was not pushing my live streams out, or people were not seeing when I was on until after I had already stopped the live stream. Then they would see it in replay. So it was very frustrating for me. So I decided that I was going to not do live streams. And, my family, I have a family, so I don't want to be doing live streams out in the kitchen or out where they're all at. And my husband's in the office, so I don't want to do it in there. So this is really the only area that I feel comfortable doing it in, which is adjacent to my bedroom. And it's like a sunroom. And originally it was like a little room that when you had a baby, you had the baby in the next room over to you rather than on the other side of the house. So anyhow, I made it into like a computer room, but it's an old computer and it's on Wi-Fi. So anyhow, so let's see if anyone comes on and sees them on here. Thank you, Ed. You're from St. Augustine. I've been to St. Augustine, and I have to tell you, it's beautiful, and I love it. I love St. Augustine. It's just beautiful. Florida is a beautiful state. The only part I didn't like was where the alligators were. And years ago, we took our motorhome. We had a motorhome, and our kids were like 9, 10, and 11. So we drove all over the country, and it was wonderful. And we went to Key West, and on the way back, we went through that alligator area. And oh my gosh, there were alligators crossing the street. And I mean, yes, the Everglades. Oh my gosh. And we did not get out. I mean, I was like, we're not getting out here, and there were people that actually lived in those areas. And I was like, it was so hard to believe that people actually lived in the Everglades or near the Everglades, where there were, I guess, crocodiles or alligators or whatever they were or are, were crossing the street. Wouldn't want a little dog or let my little dog out or anything like that, But otherwise, I love Florida. I thought Florida was just amazing and beautiful. And the only other issue, y'all have hurricanes. Well, we get them here, but we're a little bit inland because we're in the Carolinas. So we're a little bit inland, so we don't really get the brunt of a hurricane. But we have a beach house on an oceanfront property. And not here, but we have a little beach house that we raised our children in years ago when they were babies. And it's on a little island off of Savannah, and a real island. And the hurricanes do come there. And of course, all the houses, the newer houses like ours, is built up on like stilts, so if the water comes, it's not going to probably flood the house. And so, we really, really loved living on the beach, but the hurricanes did pose a problem. So nonetheless, I am not going to stay on here for long because it doesn't look like YouTube is pushing me out. And, I may try this later and see if anybody comes on. But the big problem with doing live streams, at least for me now, is that it doesn't seem like I get pushed out. And, I'm more of a content provider. I am not a live streamer per se, although in the past I did do a lot of live streams and I guested on a lot of live streams. And I love the live streams because you get to interact with people. Thank you, Ed. See, that's the issue. But that was not always the issue. Um, I think the algorithms or something like that changed 3 years ago, because when I started, I was, I remember one week I grew 1,200 subscribers, 1,200 in a week, which was unbelievable. And it started off that way, but I think I grew too quickly. And all of a sudden the brakes went on. And all of a sudden, all the live streams that I was doing, very much like that over on Facebook. When I did Facebook, I also have a what they call a like page, business page over there. And when that started off, I mean, I had so many people, this is years ago, I had so many people making comments constantly. I mean, it was just hundreds of comments. And then it was like overnight, there was not even a comment. And what happened, Facebook made it a paid kind of, you pay to grow. And so at that point, they made it um, actually start you, I don't know, it pay to get your subscribers at some level. They just didn't push you out automatically over there anymore. And so, I mean, people didn't see my posts. It's not that they wouldn't have commented, it's that they weren't seeing it. And even now, I'll go over there and periodically post something, nobody sees it. So it's a page with about 11,000 um, followers on it, that nobody gets my posting unless they come directly to that page. And that's called Everyday Words of Wisdom with Diana Brienne Fairchild. And so I quit posting over there. Then that sort of happened over here on YouTube. So I went to TikTok. TikTok is amazing. I'm a newbie over on TikTok, but it has grown dramatically. So I wanted to do my live stream over on TikTok today, and I may try it again, but I was having problems connecting on TikTok as far as the live stream went. And it could be because this computer's older. Okay. Hey, Mr. Prince, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate it. And so, and also what I've noticed on YouTube, there used to be like a sidebar and it would let people know who was on live streaming. And I don't see that sidebar anymore. So I think people actually have to check their notifications to see if you're on live. It's called Ultimate Golden Girl, Ed, and Ultimate Golden Girl. And, I'm actually doing more over on TikTok because TikTok lets me grow. I'm at about 22,000 on here. But to be honest, in the very beginning, like I said, I grew 1,200 in 1 week. And then it just came to a sudden halt. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it's an algorithm thing or what it is. So I just, I do grow, but I don't feel like I'm being pushed out the way I was pushed out before. Whether that's my imagination or not, I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it. Because like I said, by this time I would have several hundred people in my live stream. And actually what they did is, after, I think it was because I was using Streamyard at the time. Thank you. Yeah, 6.7 followers. And when I did TikTok, I just started TikTok maybe a year ago, and I haven't really done much with it. Hey, Lewis, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And so I started TikTok. And to be honest with you, what I have found over on TikTok is people, they say that a lot of people on TikTok are toxic and not nice. I have not found that to be so. I have found the people, thank you, Lewis, thank you. I have found the people over on TikTok to be amazing. I think it's a younger crowd, and they're so much more respectful. Now, of course, you all are respectful, But over here, when you get to be at, more than a couple thousand subscribers, you start to get the trolls and you start to get the people that make nasty comments. And usually those don't come from younger people. They come from older people. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. They come from older people. And, like I always say, a troll or somebody who makes rude comments is somebody that's unhappy. They're not a happy person, because if they were a happy person, unless you're saying something really offensive, which I don't, they're just going to move on. They're going to say, this is not for me, and they just move on. But unhappy people, not all unhappy people troll, and not all unhappy people make nasty comments. That's not so. But happy people don't make nasty comments unnecessarily. And so people that, like maybe every couple videos I'll get some nasty comment, but for all the nasty comments, I get 100 wonderful comments. So I don't let that stop me. You can't let a nasty person stop you from being your best you. Okay, you just can't. So I don't know. How is the lighting? How is the lighting in here? Is it okay? I look kind of blue, or I don't know. I don't have one of those rings. I need to, you would think that I would have one of those ring setups above me for the lighting, because, lighting does make a big difference. And often I'll come off of here and I'll go, oh my gosh, I look so horrible. That's not the way I look, because the lighting is not good. It'll show shadows and things like that, so, but yeah, so I think that um, on YouTube, I've been over here, but I've also had friends that have lost their channels. For whatever reason, I have no clue, because they had wonderful channels. But I think AI comes in, and sometimes AI makes a mistake and thinks something is spam or deceptive practices or whatever, and it's not. I was watching a 1 million subscriber channel yesterday, and this guy was pretty shaken because he got a strike on one of his videos. And he puts videos up about like automobile accidents and things like that, but the one he had put up was nothing wrong with it, and thank you, thank you, thank you, skinny boy. Um, oh, oh, I just got that. I'm a little bit slow with things, but anyhow, I think the most important thing is to, if you're going to be on YouTube, you got to kind of get a little bit thick-skinned, because you'll get all kinds of people. You'll get wonderful people that will come up and, you make comments and nice, and then you'll get people that aren't. And, it's just the way it is. I was over on one of my friends' channels one day, and she was doing a live stream, and I was with her, and she got so many trolls that day. And it turned out to be that there was this group of trolls, and they called themselves the parachutists or something like that. And they would all group together, and they would find channels that were live streaming, and then they would go make nasty comments all over the channel. And it was about like old women being, they were calling us old women who were on the channel. And and so it was just crazy. But I come on here every day, and I've had a channel since 2011, and it was originally called my full name. And I found that could be problematic at some small degree when people know your real name, which you all know my real name anyhow now because it's been out there. But so I changed it simply to Ultimate Golden Girl, because if you're going to be a golden girl, you might as well be your best. And I'm almost 70 years old. And I, am living my very best life that I know how to live. And so, being that I'm living my very best life, I know how to live. I thought, well, a perfect name would be called Ultimate Golden Girl. So I got my license plate, the front license plate, and it says Ultimate Golden Girl. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's challenging when you're a YouTuber and you make great content, but you have to rely on the algorithm to push you out. And like I said, in my beginning time, when I started actually really for public 5 years ago, I've had the channel for 11 years. If you go way, way, way back, I have little videos, maybe 30, 40 seconds, and they're wisdom. All they are is just a wisdom note or wisdom thought. And I put those up because my kids were little at the time. And I wanted to share with them my wisdom, but they were too young. They didn't want to hear my wisdom. And I wanted them to have my wisdom when they were older. And I thought YouTube is such an easy way to access my wisdom. And I don't give advice, I don't give suggestions. I just share with you the way I see life, my perspective, how I live my life. And so I thought my kids would watch YouTube. They might not watch anything else, but they'll watch YouTube. And so maybe they'll watch mom on YouTube. So that was how I started in 2011. I mean, if you want to go back to 2011, type in Diana Brienne Harper Valley PTA. And that'll take you to a video from 2011. I have a lot of them from that out there, but they don't come up. You'd have to sift through them all to find them. But I have a lot. And so those were for my kids and family and people that I knew closely. And then they were made public so they could see them. But, I didn't promote myself. Then in 2020, I decided people were saying, oh, you need to go, be more public. And so I came more public and started gearing my videos to the general public. And that was when I grew rapidly. And I mean, like when I was doing a live stream, 400 or 500 people in there, it was amazing. And then it was as a break suddenly came on, and that was it. And I know people didn't lose interest. I just don't believe they were seeing that I was coming on live. And I don't feel like I was being pushed out in the same way. Maybe I messed up my algorithm, which could have been, what happened. Because I'm doing a lot of different content. I dance, I get on here and I dance. I talk about all kinds of subjects. So I'm not like, they can't really categorize me as being just one type of channel. I'm mainly a motivational, inspirational channel. But I'm a little bit of everything. I mean, I've cooked on here, shared my recipes. I dance on here. When my husband was going through cancer, when he was going through cancer, I mean, so, sharing his cancer journey, our cancer journey, the ups and downs of life. I mean, even though I come on here and I speak positive words, I also share a lot about my life, where I've been. And then, I have 45 years plus of home movies. I started taking home movies way, way, way a long time ago. And when you had the big VHS backpack camera and you had the big backpack camera, and I would carry that around and I would prop it up, and I have wonderful home movies, and I did it every day. I mean, when my husband and I first met 35 years ago, I have all that on video. I have our whole life on video, it seems. And it's been wonderful, wonderful, especially looking back at people that are no longer here. Or when my kids were little, it was wonderful to have that journey on videotape. Or when we had our motorhome trips, or we lived in Europe, or I lived in California. All of that is on video. So I decided to share it on YouTube. So many of the videos I shared, not everything, but I would take bits and clips and put them up. Hey, Un, thank you, my friend. I'm back here again. Thank you, Un. If you don't know Un's channel, she's amazing and she's wonderful. Um, and she's very much like my channel, but different. We're all different. We put our own spin on the way we do things, but she's a very motivational, comforting, wonderful, amazing channel. So if you don't have Undale's channel, you need, she's got well over 100,000, and it's just a wonderful channel. And Ed, so I started doing it, and when I started doing home videos, people say, "Oh, why do you carry the video camera around so much? It's very annoying." And I think people thought it was a little bit intrusive. But now those very same people, 45 years later, say, "Can you share with me? Can you share some of those videos?" So a lot of those videos I put up on YouTube so that people who wanted to see those could see them. Now, not everything did I put up on YouTube, and I edited out, people that wouldn't want to be on YouTube, and I always got their permission before I put them up. And it is amazing. I mean, if you haven't looked back upon some of my home movies, all you have to do is type my name in, Diana Brienne Fairchild, Ultimate Golden Girl, home movies, home videos. And I probably have close to 1,000 up there. And so what happened, I had all these VHS tapes, and they were all in the attic, and they had been around the world with us in boxes, all kinds of conditions, all kinds of weather, and I didn't even think they would play. Well, I had bought a bunch of old VCRs from the junk store for $1 each. You can't even buy them anymore unless you can find a used one. So I was very fortunate. I popped them in, and there they were. They were just like perfect. And so I had to find a way to convert them. Well, I used to have a DVD converter from VHS, but they don't make those anymore as far as I know. So my husband was researching for, a used one when he came across a digital VHS to digital converter, brand new. It was $200. And so he bought it for me. I hooked it up, and basically you plug your VCR into your TV, you're playing your video like you're watching it, and you start the little machine. It has a thumbnail in it, some thumb drive in it, and it records it onto the thumb drive. You take it over to your computer, you download it onto your computer. But what I did is I downloaded it onto a hard drive. And so I have a separate external hard drive that I download all my videos on. And so I took all the VHS, 45 years of VHS. Took me a couple years to do it every day. I had them going on in the background. Even I'd go to the store and they'd be playing in the living room, recording and, copying. And so I began to do that. And I have to tell you, it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey to be able to have those videos. Oh, Edward, thank you. I'm not really all that savvy, but you know what, Ed? I have this gift of determination. For example, I had a new computer in my office that for some reason just locked up. And my husband couldn't fix it, and he's tech savvy. Nobody could fix it. And thank you, my friend. Thank you. And he is tech savvy, and he couldn't do it. And he said, "We're just going to have to get rid of it and a new one." I said, "No, So one night I sat up until 4 o'clock in the morning, and I actually reset the whole computer. I was able to reset it, and now it works better than ever. Now, I had no idea how to do that, but I had determination. The power of determination is amazing. You end up being able to do a lot of things that you never thought you could do. And so when I want to achieve something, I tend to be able to achieve it only because I have the power of determination, not necessarily the knowledge to do it, but I have that drive and that willpower to do it. And so, yeah, so that's what I do. I come on, and even right now, coming on here to YouTube. Um, and I remember that too. And I grew up with rabbit ears. We had one TV channel. We could possibly get two TV channels if it was good weather. And we had rabbit ears. And I grew up with the rotary phone, and I grew up with party lines. That's where you have more than one person on a phone line. So that's how far I go back. Makes me feel old. And, but yeah, technology has come so far. I can't keep up with technology. There's so much. My kids do. My kids they're all young adults, and they're in their mid to late 20s. And they really know how, especially my daughter, she can figure out anything. She can figure it all out. But for me, I'm like, it just takes me a long time to figure it out. But I do. If I'm determined, I will figure it out. So, for example, I want to go live over on TikTok. I've never been live. I downloaded the TikTok app for my computer. Now, this is the thing. I don't know if this is Windows 10 or above, because this computer is 10 years old, at least 10 years old in here. I don't use this computer that often. My new computers are all out in the main part of the house. This is an older computer that I have a lot of photos and things like that on. And I use it because I'm in here in the sunroom. Now, I could probably move one of my newer computers into here for the live stream. So I know with TikTok, you have to have Windows 10 or above. So I tried to open the app. I did download it, and it kept saying it's opening, it's going to open, it's going to open. And it went through this whole cycle and didn't open. So I never came on TikTok today. So I said, well, since I'm all ready to go live, I'll just go live over here on YouTube for a little bit. Normally, I will not come on during the daytime. I will come on probably about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. That's a better time for me. My husband tends to go to bed early. We watch usually, right now we're watching a show called Longmire. It's a Western from kind of a new Western. Yeah. And you know what? Yes, I agree. It's an old computer in here. Now, I do have all brand new computers, but this is my old one. And hey, Josie. Hey, Josie Flores. No football. And so so the thing about it is that I am using this one just for right now to see if I am going to do lives. And if I do decide to do lives, I probably will change computers and or do them out there and just hope no one walks by in their underwear in the background, one of my adult kids or somebody, my husband. I don't think underwear, but, nonetheless, usually they're talking in the background or whatever. But I could possibly, do my live streams out there. I used to do them in the kitchen, but everybody comes in the kitchen to get something to eat, and there I am in the kitchen doing a live stream. So but so so like I said, I had gone over to TikTok, and to be honest with you, um, because I don't feel like YouTube pushes me out like they once did, and so people don't see my live streams until after they're over, and they a lot of times, don't see my videos. My videos aren't pushed out like they used to be, and so I kind of feel like over on TikTok they do push me out, and TikTok's a very different crowd. I mean, it's a younger crowd, but I love the older crowd. It just happens to be that I think there's older people over there, but not to the degree that TikTok, and the younger people are over on TikTok, like in their 20s and 30s, because it's more of a younger people's kind of venue, I guess. Whereas YouTube, I think a lot of older people got on YouTube back when it first started, and so they're used to it. But I even remember getting on MySpace. Remember MySpace? I don't even know if it's still around. I think it is, but I don't even know. That was kind of my first account, was MySpace. And then I signed up for Facebook. And then I went from Facebook to YouTube. And then I went from YouTube to TikTok, is how I did it. So, yeah. What is MEWE, Ed? I don't know what that is, but oh, Josie, I think Josie means there's no football today. I don't know. Oh, for me, my husband, he my and my daughter all watch football. I'm not a football person, Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know that one, Ed, but I know that there were a lot of knockoffs to like Facebook and different ones, but they never really won. Like I went over to Rumble, I got on Rumble, and it wasn't the same, so I didn't do much over there. I am on LinkedIn, I am on X and all that, but I don't do anything over there. It's very rare that I do anything over there. So, but yeah, so if I can get TikTok to work for me, then I'm going to go over there and do some live streaming. And that's probably where I will do my live streaming, because I know that they will push me out. And, if they they'll push me out over there. But like I said, over here, I don't think anybody sees the notifications like they did in the past. So, but anyhow, but yeah, so my husband's birthday is coming up. We're going to go out to dinner a little bit and enjoy that. I always bake a birthday cake, or this year he wanted an ice cream cake, so we went out and bought the ice cream cake. But normally Ed, it can happen. It can happen. Like I said, my friend, she got 3 of her channels taken down. She didn't do anything. I mean, I think what she ended up doing, she had posted some of her, thank you for my husband. Thank you, Ed. My husband, or she had taken some of her videos from her main channel and posted them on her other channels. So I guess they considered that spam. And so they took down her 3 channels for that reason. So, you never know here on any of the virtual sites, from day to day, because they've got AI, patrolling everything. And I remember one time I put up a thumbnail and it had just different lettering, different colors, like in the title. And I got flagged for that. And so I contacted them, and then of course they took the strike away. I must have talked to a real person through the chat, but I was like shocked at something so minor that AI picked up that said it, that there was you know, gave me a strike for something. And fortunately, they took it away right away, you know. Um, and so, and yeah, so they took that away. And so let me ask you, Ed, how is the StreamYard? How does it look? 'Cause this is the free version. I don't know if it's showing here, but how does the free version look? Because I'm using the free version. I'm not using the paid version. And I think you get 20 hours on the free version. And uh, and it's not because of the money, because it's only like $21 a month. So it's not that. It's that I want to make sure that I'm actually going to use it. If I'm not going to use it, then why, why buy it? So what I may do, if this works, thank you, Josie, thank you. Okay, so the video is low quality and it's freezing. Okay, that's good to know. Ed, now if I'm not going to have anybody up, on the panel, then I don't need to use StreamYard. So, okay, that's good to know. And I'm wondering, though, if it's StreamYard or if it's the old computer or if it's the Wi-Fi. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering what it is. So I didn't have this trouble yesterday when I came on and I was going directly through YouTube. So I think it probably does have to do with StreamYard. I think it probably does. So maybe the way I'll do it is I'll use StreamYard free version if I'm going to bring people up. And if I'm not, then I'll just go through YouTube, that type of thing. So anyhow, I'm going to get off of here, and I think I'm going to try to make my way back over to TikTok and see if it will let me go live. And on this old computer, it will let me go live. It's just a matter whether it will let me go on this old computer. And if it will, then, oh, thank you, Ed. Thank you. I would be doing a lot more dancing videos. But the issue is I've run out of songs. I think, I've done thousands of dancing videos and I don't know what more songs to use. I keep repeating the same songs and it's like, okay, been there, done that, So I think I'm going to try to make my way over there. And if I can go live, I may pop on there live for just a little bit to see how that goes. Because I've never done a live over there on TikTok. But thank you, Un. Thank you so much. And I took your advice, Un, and I came on through a free version of StreamYard. And I think the only issue that I'm having, yeah, I do dance moves too, but there's only so much you can do in your kitchen on your rug, dance-wise, But yeah, and I came on with StreamYard free version. So, and I don't even remember how to drop the link. Remember how we used to drop the link? Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for everybody supporting me who came on here. And I'll keep trying. Maybe YouTube will start to push me out when they realize I'm back to live streaming. Part of it is I'm not live streaming, so maybe they don't consider me a live streamer and they're not going to push me out. So, but anyhow, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And may God bless you. And till the next live stream or till the next video, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.